Hi all, Style Laughing here, and welcome back to the next installment of Pokemon Reborn. So last time, I endured the mother of all battle series, where we had to battle 6 on 12, then a 6 on 6, then another 6 on 12, all back to back. It made things very difficult indeed, especially since I didn't actually have a particularly good team for the battles that were ensued. I was geared up, ready to take on the meteor hierarchy, but it turned out not to be the case. So, in hindsight, a better lineup would have been Empoleon with, say, Tentacruel. I think I could have set them up first battle, swept it without losing a Pokemon, done the second battle okay, and then I think the third battle I could have gone through without losing a single Pokemon, if I'd lined up with those two. Maybe I'll try it when I do my pointless rerun of this. Anyway, and after the battles, we've ended up here in this kind of weird alternate reality or distortion world or something. The guy's just come and said to me, "Welcome to Reborn City here." Give us the same dialogue we had when we stepped off the platform at the very start of the game. So why, I don't know as yet, but this is very bizarre. So this could be, I don't know what it could be. I'm not even going to try and hazard a guess. I'm sure it will all become clear as I progress. Ah! What the hell just happened there? Someone just dropped and made a path. It was a bit quick. I didn't see who it was. What the hell is... So these are presumably characters from the game. Oh no, these are our starting options, I think. These are the sprites you're given to choose from right at the start of the game. So are we to assume that this is like perhaps different paths that you could have taken, could have created different situations? Which happens in life. There's Julia? Oh, well, let's talk to her. So you're Die Laughing. I'm Julia, captain of Cheer and Pep and all things bubbly and bright. So this is the same dialogue we have right at the very start of the game. Pop quiz, are you going to take on the Reborn League? Well, let's say no this time. Let's make it, because I said yes right at the start of the game. This time I'm going to say no and see what happens. It might lead to something different. Let's do a different reality. What? Then what was the point of beating us all four? So she's saying that from a point of view that this has already happened. I'm already confused. Don't tell me it was all for your ego. Ego. Lots of egos. I'll be looking forward to your challenge. So go on and get down to the Grand Hall already. So she's kind of jumping around in time here and disappears. So I'm already thinking, what the fuck is going on? Okay. So is this, these are the steps for the Grand Hall, perhaps. So this must be Victoria. Hey, are you Die Laughing? I'm Kiki. What? It's a pleasure to meet you, but is everything okay? No, it's far from it. I've entered a whole new level of confusion and I'm about to hurt myself. I heard something happened at the station. Well, you're here, so I guess you're all right. Ame asked that I bring you in for salvation too. Is Ame God? Don't worry, it shouldn't take long, so let's go inside. Holy moly. Oh my god, what the... Bizarre or what? Ew, can we pick a new starter? Oh, cool beans. I will pick... Oh, I don't know. What should I pick this time? Let me go for you. I want to decide you I. There's no will to fight. How about you then? Oh, so you have to pick your original starter. Oh, which is that one. What happens if you press no again? No, you can't. You have to say yes. Oh my goodness me. Okay, so I got my starter, which has just died actually, after all this time. Right. So do we now battle Cain again? I hope not. There he is. Yo, Cain. Hey, you're cute. You come around here often? That's different. ... Aha, just kidding. Man die laughing. I'm so glad to see you. I mean, I thought I had stars in my eyes, but I guess it was just you. Ah, so is Cain actually here now? The others were just like phantom images, and this is really Cain? But really, I've been wandering around here for a while, and I was starting to get worried. I have no idea how I got here, or what's going on. Makes two of us, Cain. But would you say we stick together until we figure out what's in this place? Then again, there's only one path, so I guess it won't be hard. Come on, let's go. Now, I can't follow. So is Cain's path different to my path? Is this what this is trying to say? Maybe. Who are you? Julia again. Hi, die laughing. Welcome to the super duper ultra hyper electro dazzle happy boom time house of cheer. Ignore all the super lame reality junk. Okay. I need more banners and streamers and ways to cover up the persisting revelation that the best years of my life are already behind me, and from now on everything is in an inevitable decline. Wait, is that a safety hazard? Who cares? Anyway, don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're the one he chose. Wow, who chose? What? Oh. As former captain of cheerleader, I have to convince myself that Onyx Trainer's school honour depends on me. OTS, we represent, we pack a punch and don't relent. Alright, I'm wired, so let's disappear in a puff of reality confusion. So do we have to go through the whole game like this now? It's fun at the trainer's school, presumably. Little bird me told you he coming here to challenge my sister. But you see, I know you die laughing. You don't deserve to challenge her. You're not good enough, and you're not worthy. Not even I was good enough. Maybe you don't understand why I'm doing this, die laughing. It's not like it's a matter of our family and our school's pride. But you're not worthy. Oh no, but you're worthy. Okay. And I never was. Okay. So now what? We can't go that way. So we used to break in over here to the trainer's school. So do we go this way? Anyway. That's Fern again, is it? No, it's Florinia. ... What? Please notice, I think she said. Please notice what? Exactly. Oh, it's Corey. That frightened the pants off me. Okay, that is... Is it Shelley and Cal looking into the distance together? And that's them again talking, I think. And is that him being mean to her and she's walking off, perhaps? There was some dialogue to that effect in the game, and that's Cal on his own. And is that the transformation of Cal from red-haired dude to blue-haired dude to be like Blake, his brother? And we have lots and lots of Corys. A field full of Corys come to perplex me. Okay. And Corian Blake, perhaps? Don't know. There's a lot of purple-haired people in the game. Heather. Oh, was that Heather? What are you doing, you stupid creep? Let me go. The girl is completely out of control. Hold her down. Oh, I see. Right. I was just trying to remember the voice I gave him. He's a bit more creepy than that. Good. Begin treatment at 100 volts. You'll never get away with this, you dirty, rotten old man. Make that 110. Bind her as well. I see. Now, Heather, just hold still. You might feel a little shock. Ah! I'm feeling the shock. Oh, 2 seconds. I just left the pan on the stove that was bubbling away. Oh, just saved it. Okay, so Heather, I got shocked instead of Heather for some reason. Is it because we're all intertwined together? Julia? Anna? Oh, it was you. Now, Anna might have some insight here because she sees stuff that I don't. Your light shines brightest. The light shines brightest in the darkness after all. So make sure you never, ever, ever stop shining, no matter what happens. I know this is a little backwards, but just hang in there, okay? She should open a path for you. Okay, unless... Hey, die laughing! If 2 stars fall, passing like ships in the night, do you think they would wish upon each other? If that would happen, then which wish would win? I'm not sure it's a contest. Maybe we just have to chase them to the horizon to find out. What? I've had better nightmares than this. Ugh. Okay, so that's... Is that Luna? Is that Dr. Connell? Some others, I don't remember whom. Alright. Is that Kane again? It is. Oh, geez, there you are. It's really you this time, right? It was me before, Kane. I lost you before, and I've been seeing some really weird stuff down here. Earlier, I saw a version of you, but I think it's from the past. You didn't seem to even see me at all. It was pretty cold, but I thought we were going to stick together. Ah ha ha. Listen, I keep feeling like there's something just behind me. So really, stay close this time, okay? Let's go slow together. And again he wanders where I cannot. Okay. Branches. So these are different alternative branches through life. No. Okay. Now this could be serious. Oh no, hang on. Oh, so, holy shit, man, what just happened there? That was a Garchomp that killed Kiki, and she says, how is it fair that I had to be the one to go? How is it fair that killing my body... Sorry, how is it fair my body had to be the one killing itself? I didn't ask for this. Do you think I was satisfied? Do you think I didn't have dreams? Do you think I knew a single goddamn thing about staying calm? Defeat the inner chaos. I am made of chaos, and there's nothing I can do about that. Unlike these whiny, self-absorbed children whose greatest problem is what their fucking hair looks like. They have no idea what it's like to wake up one day and suddenly hear that despite everything they have ever sought to do with their life, despite giving themselves to others every step of the way, despite surviving a family that communicated mainly in drugs and violence, despite having climbed over all of the shit of life just to make one goddamn oasis of serenity in this fucking ballistic world? The only reward you get is death. Death, 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 death. Tear my stomach open. Pick out my intestines. Grind them into the dirt. My body would do it all on its own anyway. The only thing I ever taught was mercy, but no one could teach that to me. And she disappears. Oof, heavy stuff. Don't know. I am Aya. Please stop fighting. Please come back. So is that Aya's parents to the left, having a bust up, and Kane looking rather miserable on the right, I think. I'll clean my room and I won't complain anymore. I'll do anything I need to. Just please love each other again. Oh my goodness me. Who's the guy marching? I don't know who these are. Again, is it Aya's parents again? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What the hell? That's Kane running off from his mother. Okay, we heard about this bit. But who are these observers? Is that Corey again? So these are just various characters from the game. Kane again. Hey, Kane. Oh, it really is just you, isn't it? This place is running me a bit ragged, and not in a good way. If I keep seeing things about you, probably you've seen some things about me too. Yep. To be honest, I'd rather just forget about most of that stuff. Well, obviously that's why I ran. Haha. But then the only place I ever ran was in circles. I guess it's hard to do anything else when you don't know where to go. Hey, die laughing. Do you want to know what to do in the future? Like, after all this is over? I'll say no, actually. I'd rather be a surprise. Then I guess we're made for each other after all. So many people seem like they're just cut out and set on whatever it is they want to do. But I was never like that. Aha, I can barely settle on a romantic partner. Even with how much I joke and flirt about stuff. It's just a way of keeping myself safe from commitments and disappointment. If those are even any different, who knows? Maybe one day I could find somewhere I actually feel like I belong. Place or person, either way, but I've gotten around enough to know that I'm the problem, not them. Even if they do nothing wrong, I still never feel I can stay. But hey, everyone's a little bit broken, right? And some pieces just don't fit together. No matter how much lotion, well, never mind. You can go ahead this time. Sticking together never works out anyway. And maybe just this time, I'll stop running. Okay, so we have got a gang of Lunars and a Dr. Connell, I think. They don't react. Oh, sorry, Sigmund. We meet again. I have no intention of extending to you the same mercy as when last time we met. I am here to reclaim what has been stolen from me. Lizzie, Lizzie, I will do what must be done for your sake. And all the Lunars disappear. Corey's? Ah, is that Corey and his wife? Because she got poisoned, didn't she? Why are there 5 other Coreys? Doesn't react. Sirius! Blast that feral woman! Ah, I remember that bit. That's when Sapphira shot him out the sky at Tanzan Cove. And blast her husband twice! Are you referring to Corey here? History cares nothing for hopeless romanticism. He is as naive as I've been, for neither does history care for its own study. I only needed to recover the scars I carved, not earn my own. But I understand now. Reality accepts nothing less than full commitment and sacrifice. Those unwilling to choose that path have it chosen for them, and there's only one road left to walk. Ironic. Perhaps this loss was just what I needed to glean the way. I'll have a little break there a minute. Okay, let's move on. Is that Julia? No, it's Lynn. Oh, right. So now we might get some insight here, perhaps. How funny. You thought you were strong together, and here you are now. Let this be a lesson. Numbers do not help. Friends do not help. Nothing ever helps. No one ever helps. No one ever helps. Okay, so that little moment of insight has vanished as well. So it's back to Corey and his wife. Is that L? Lots of L. Why are there, like, so many rows of L? Oh my goodness. Radimus and Luna? Hey, watch your back. Okay. And who's that? Once upon a time, a belt of meteors swept across the universe. But one day, one of those little meteors decided she wanted to go further than any of the others ever had. So meteors are now sentient, conscious entities instead of lumps of rock. So she kicked up her trail, revved up and her space dust, and off she went, sailing far, far away across the galaxy, further than all her best friends, further than all her loving family, further than any meteor had ever known it was possible to even go. And when she was very, very tired of flying so very far away, she found a little planet she liked, and she thought that she would finally rest. So the little meteor started to descend to the planet's surface. But that planet's atmosphere was so hot and so thick, and the little meteor was so exhausted from flying so many millions and millions and moons across space that she burnt right up in the sky. And do you know what happened? All the people on that planet looked up and they said, "Look, a shooting star. Let's make a wish." And so everyone on that little planet, which had scarcely seen such a star in its life, wished. And wished and wished and wished with all their might. And those people smiled and knew hope like they had never known before, and felt happy. And by the time it would have come to the surface, there was nothing of the little meteor left at all. It had all, poof, vanished. And even though it disappeared from the world forever, do you know what that little meteor did? It lived happily ever after. How can it live happily ever after if it vaporized in the atmosphere? In the joy it brought and the hearts it touched and the smiles it inspired in its final moments as a shooting star. So even with its last little itty-bitty bit of life, it never ever regretted what it had done, even once. So make sure to smile for me too, okay? Right, where was I? I had to take a little break there. Radimus, you could have been a meteorite instead. Could I really, Radimus? Could I really? Okay, so that's a Ralts. Oh, is this where Gossip Gardevoir was growing up? Presumably, and these are Radamus. She's always there for him. Yeah, looks like it. There's Radamus and all his various hats. Okay. Oh my goodness. Right, so we've got Luna, Bennett, Elle, Sarah, Gossip Gardevoir. Is that Noel and Anna on the edge here? Right. That's Taka, Luna, presumably that's Elle, and that must be Radamus. I'm sure there must be a point to this. Hee hee hee! Ah, right, this could be it. This could be it. This is funny. Hey, don't you even know who your real ally is? Don't you? Don't you? Oh, I feel a song coming on by the Pussycat Dolls. Hey, who's really made it so you could get this far? Who? Who? Hey, haven't you been having fun? Mostly, yes. Haven't you? Haven't you? You're sure like me, hee hee hee. Why else would you keep playing? I've often wondered that myself. Okay, so obviously, well, we don't really, we're not told who that voice is from. I had my theory on it. I thought it might be Lynn, but anything's possible. And this is a long bit. Maybe that means we're near the end. No, sorry. Oh God, what's that? Is that someone broken in two? Are we looking at a Maria? Torn in two? Possibly? Ah, we've seen some people over here. I can't quite see them. Okay, so that's Bennett surrounded by elves. And Sarah? Is it Luna? Bennett? Oh, I don't know anymore. Gossip Gardevoir, have you any insight for me? If this is what it's like to die, I don't mind. I'm happy. I was finally able to be of use to my master. And that feeling is my own. My own. No matter how intensely I may feel it, I don't even know the truth. All of my desire for him is just a reflection of his own longing for her. And neither of us could ever realize it. After all, a human marrying a Pokemon? Now steady on, Gossip Gardevoir. What would the children look like? How gauche? Unthinkable. Those aren't the Dark Ages anymore. I'm not stupid, just a mess. And even if I put all of those thoughts square out of my head, I know they would all come rushing back the moment I saw him again. Is that just how crushes are? Or is it just part of my fate only to have his feelings? I suppose I'll never find out. Not anymore. For now, I would rather like to sleep for a very, very long time. Oh my God, it's bloody terror. Oh right, she just spins indefinitely. All right, I'm stuck. Oh, hang on. This can't be good. Oh, hang on. That way, that way, that way, that way! Oh, it's Titania and Amaria. Okay. It's better this way, but you're not the one who gets to decide that. Taka, die laughing! I don't want to give up. I want to be able to fight like you. You're no chance, Taka. Sorry, mate. It's either in your genes or it's not. Please, it hurts. Don't forget me. Who said that? Wow. You are... That was Cal being pushed off the mountain by Blake. And there they are again. How much longer do you think we have to stay out here? As long as a rope. As deep as the sea. Shallow as the sea. What? How long is a rope? As long as it needs to be. Huh? I was just tired. Stop making excuses. I didn't mean to ruin anything. If you're really tired, then go to sleep. Here? In the snow? No, in the luxury down bed we've got. Yes, out here. Dad won't be mad after this, right? He will if you keep asking things like that. I'm so cold. Yes, but that's kind of the point. I want to go inside. Stop complaining. It's your fault we're in this situation in the first place. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I am. You're sounding like him. Better him than you. Okay. Oh, Shade just appeared and disappeared. Ooh, who's that? I didn't catch that. Someone flickered in and out of existence. Right, who have we got here? I'm not sure. What the hell? Are their heads missing? Oh my goodness. I mean, this is quite long. This must be very profound, I presume. And what the hell was that? Someone just split in two and walked in opposite directions. Very good. And that is Taka in the sort of suit of armour being stabbed through by Titania, I think. Enough. Oh, I agree entirely. Now, this whole section, I mean, it's quite lengthy and it obviously has some implications. So I'm scratching my head though. It kind of reminds me of like a visit to one of these abstract modern art museums where they have these weird and wonderful paintings, and you look at them and you think they're supposed to mean something, but I don't know what it is. Imagine you have like a painting, say, I don't know, big fat woman frying a sausage in a frying pan, and you look at it and you think, just a woman frying a sausage in a frying pan, and you get some boffin come up beside you and say, no, 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 you're not seeing the full picture. The artist here is clearly trying to show that the big fat woman represents a totalitarian state, and that the sausage in the frying pan is the working person being pushed around by the state with no hope and is trapped within the frying pan of life. And you look at the painting and say, it's just a woman frying a sausage in a frying pan. What's it supposed to mean? So I'm sure this section here, the Amethyst, is trying to show something deep and insightful and meaningful and profound. But all I see is a woman frying a sausage in a frying pan. I'm just not getting it. I mean, what does it mean? Anyway, someone says, enough. Perhaps the sausage is cooked. It's Luna. How do you do, Die Laughing? It has been a fair few moments since our last visit, has it not? But let us not linger on this. I fear you have dallied here too long as it is, though I do not fault you for it. This is my home rather than yours, so I'll handle this place from here. Please. This way forward is yours alone. So is these little paths that Luna's made also for Cain that I couldn't follow? Oh my goodness. I don't know anymore. And we're somewhere else. And Elias is here. Unbelievable! And we've got Sarah and somebody lying on the floor. Oh, that must be Shelley, possibly, maybe, because she was lying on the floor before. But anything could be possible. It could be Abraham Lincoln. Amidst everything, look who it is once again. Are you yourself, Die Laughing? I'm beginning to wonder. Please, don't be alarmed. It's only me. I recognise this is somewhat unfortunate. This is a somewhat unfortunate visage for you to return to. So allow me. Oh, it's Rodimus. I gave him a kind of Sean Connery type accent before. I'll try it again. Perhaps you will remember me better this way. If you would be so kind, please pay no mind to my appearance before. It is one of my more, shall we say, esoteric headpieces. Perhaps I can explain in time. But for now, Miss Vauclain, have you seen? Not all is lost after all. Not for good. Sarah's confused as well. Yeah, I see that. But too much has been. We aren't doing so well, you see. This requires some damage control. Nurse Rajoimus is on the case. I don't promise to have medical qualifications, but I do promise to help, as best I can. A male nurse Joy? Who ever heard of that? Now listen, my dear, we don't discriminate here in the healthcare industry. Besides, no one heard of anything until it was invented. So let us not be too quick to dismiss new developments. The new developments have dismissed themselves. I should have known. This is the only way things go. You certainly can choose to believe that if you are happier doing so, but I suspect you are not. Of course I'm not. No one would be happy knowing that they lose everything sooner or later. At least, this way we don't get hurt. Au contraire, you are hurt all the same. You are only taking on that pain now as opposed to later. And with no guarantee when or where later might arrive, you bear an awful lot of wounds in the meantime. Is that truly worth it, I wonder? And what about you? She made him step backwards. Aren't you upset over losing her? Over both of them? I'm still perplexed. Why is Sarah here anyway? Oh, and where are we? What is this big black thing behind me? Is it the same kind of is it like where we were and we had Bennett stood up here and Zell was up at the back and this big huge hole now has appeared? Perhaps it will become clear, but I'm not counting on it. Of course I am! But for better or worse, I am a veteran when it comes to losing hers. One might say I've been bearing an awful lot of wounds through some mean times. Another might say, very often tell others the advice ourselves need to hear. And yet another might say that it is better to focus on whom we still have. For instance, shaving the girl was rather heroic of you. This pity doesn't suit your triumph. What triumph? I couldn't stop them. Any of them. What's broken can't be fixed. Clearly, it can't be replaced either. There's no going back. And yet, Die Laughing has come. Who knows if another yet might. But I believe we are being rude to our new arrival. Thy laughing must be quite confused by now. Radamus, I'm not quite confused, I'm very confused. I will explain. Thank God! I had been here and there before Luna informed me she had been contacted. She told me that a friend had summoned her to this place and it's now gone all dark. I thought it curious, so I offered to escort her. Now, that is how we came to be here. Oh, is this a flashback? So, this is how they arrived here. I wonder at what point they arrived here in relation to me arriving here. This is very interesting. Did they get here ahead of me? At the same time? Probably not. Or afterwards. Anyway, Gardevoir is here and she says, well, how is it? It's an adventure. An elevator with a cut cable, frosting and sprinkles of glass all over it. I believe I'll wait for supper. So this must be after I've gone down there with Hardy, because that hole wasn't there until we arrived. So we must be down there, and then these guys follow. I'm assuming. Indeed, one would need to be mad to climb down through this. I am mad. So, I take it you're doing it immediately? I just might. And someone says, Gardevoir. It's Sarah. Luna too? What are you doing here? How do you do, Mother? I didn't know Sarah was... Hang on a minute, this is a bit confusing. So Sarah is Luna's mother and also Bennett's mother, which means Luna and Bennett are brother and sister. So when he was kind of romantically trying to chase her, that was kind of not allowed. Did he know? Okay. And that means that person must be, based on the strange hat, Radamus. Radamus M. Van Hanen, to be precise. My heart resents your words, but I, on the other hand, am honoured to make your acquaintance. I have heard much about you, madam. Likewise. Luna, dear, are you unwell? Are you crying? I'm perfectly fine. There's no need to worry about me. I am just very happy. I am happy to have you both back. Right. So, Miss Vauclain, Miss Vauclain, what brings you to these remote parts? Parenting. Well, yes. Well, it seems you have come to the right place. I didn't mean... I suppose so. And now we finally have the whole family together. Right. What a wonderful but shocking turn of events. ... Miss Vauclain, would I be right in deducing that this magnificent Gardevoir was the one who directed you to this place? What? Preposterous! You would? The slander! Gardevoir, you were the one who arranged this rendezvous? Why, the audacity to imply such a thing. I could faint on the very spot. Gardevoir, la la la, fainting over here. Thank you, truly. Madam, I need to find my son. And should he be here, we shall. Do you not think it wise to go together? I know better than to count on others staying. Mother, and even if it be unwise, do you think it kind? Fine, I understand. I'll go with you all. Fantastic! Sarah joined the party. Although I do not wish to be an inconvenience, I very much appreciate it. What have I gotten myself into now? Something meshy. Something wonderful. At least take me out to dinner before that. What the? Oh, goodness me. Oh dear. Right. The innuendos. Though I suppose you might have a certain amount of charm were it not for that goofy hat. Now you listen here. I may have set you two up, but don't forget the master belongs to me. Ah yes, we know you have a crush on him from our little escapade in Dreamworld or wherever we were. Madam, I assure you, were it not for the goofy hatch, I would have nothing at all. You don't say. Then I suppose you've got a step over me after all. Mother, please do not say things like that now. I know very well how much loss you felt throughout your life, but unless it can somehow be changed, there is no use in lamenting that which we cannot have in favour of appreciating that which we can. Aren't we losing sight of the situation here? We're only working together. It's not like we're all about to be a happy little family forever or something. That might depend on who you ask. And speaking of working together, just what exactly are you all doing up here? Parenting. I have received a summons to this place from my dear friend Shade. Figures they'd be friends. Yeah, fine. Of course, I simply had to answer it. And of course, we did see Shade in that strange dark world. And Luna, though. And she's here now. Okay. And Kane. I mean, they seemed more like real entities and everybody else was kind of like shadows. Anyway, we were just assessing the viability of the glass pit of death you see before you as an entrance. Glass pit of death? Sounds it's about my speed. Yep, glass is just right up your street. And that's not even all glass down there. There's ice, too. Goodness, you can tell from such a height? Oh, please, who do you think I am? More importantly, it hasn't melted yet. Whatever happened here happened recently. The plot thickens. It seems we're even less alone than we thought. If we may be of some service to whomever is responsible for this, let us make haste. I'm sure there must be a less destructively creative entrance. Yeah, over to the left. Then let's scout out and find that. Right. We can do it, or my name isn't Ash Ketchum. Who? But Master, your name isn't Ash Ketchum. Oh, very good. And even that can't stop us. Come on, let us be off. How did they know to go to the left? Anyway, we found an elevator for open use in the building nearby, and sure, we made our way through the factory with little difficulty. I presume thanks in part to you, Die laughing. Yes, I did activate it, didn't I? I wonder what happened if I didn't. And soon we arrived in this room, what did they see? Right, let's analyse this scene. Right, so I've got a Volcarona stuck to my nose. And there's no sign. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, all the bad guys are here. Kane is there. I don't know yet. Am I battling the Volcarona? Anyway, you know what it's time for. Lights, cameras, and drama. And Bennett interjects. Quickly, give them to Volcarona. Die laughing handed over the sapphire braid. Am I in a trance then? Am I being controlled now by Hypno? I see, that's why Shelley was woken up, because the Hypno can only control two at once. Which would be me and Kane now, presumably. I think. Alright, okay. Die laughing! We should have guessed it was you. Excellent work, Volcarona. Thank you. I suspect that is not quite the Die laughing we know. Sorry, should have been in his... Yeah. Never mind, I'll do his voice later. Bennett! Oh, for mother! Why did you have to come here too? For you, obvio. ... Your hair! It looks better. I'm aware, Mother. Thank you. Now please go. I don't wish for you to get dragged into this. You should have thought of that before you went and joined up with a terrorist organisation. Firstly, they're more of a religious organisation than a terrorist one. Secondly, I don't approve of everything they do. I'm just doing a few jobs for them until I paid my dues. You'll be paying your dues for a while when you get out of here. Come on, or you're grounded for the next 45 years. Make it 50. I'm not coming home. Hang on a minute. That was part of the text broken. So I heard a bit. Right, okay. Lots of pennies are starting to drop. In fact, a whole tumble of pennies are dropping. This is very clever. This is very clever. So I was getting little snippets of this in between the battles. So that Volcarona was the last part of the first battle, the first double battle, and then I had some dialogue with broken text, and this is some of it. Okay. You can't treat me like a child forever, Mother. Zero? What are the lights doing? they seem to be, yeah. It's just a momentary dip in the power. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Question mark. I don't think you're too certain about that. You may not be a child, but your actions truly become an adult. My actions? I'm sorry, I cannot for a second take you seriously with that ridiculous mask on. I told him it was awful. Not all hearts are created equal, but that doesn't mean they deserve any less respect. Mother, how do you manage to make every new boyfriend weirder than the last? Don't get the wrong idea here. And Gardevoir. Besides, you should already know that Master is vigorously taken. Do you have to phrase it like that? It's been a while, Gardevoir. Not long enough, if you ask me. I don't fault you for feeling that way. Please understand that I am no longer the same person you once knew. I would much rather let everyone in the past go, but I understand that won't be possible. Especially for you, Luna. I beg your pardon? I offer my sincerest apologies for being an incestuous for how I acted before, but you need not accept them. There will be little point in doing so anyway. I disrespected you by treating you as an object before a person. There is no excuse for this. Zero, is the pulse using too much power or something? The energy readings appear to be within acceptable levels. The stupid thing just keeps power cycling for some reason. But it doesn't seem to have interrupted its hypnosis. So please, don't worry. We'll continue to analyse it. So don't hesitate if you want us to use die laughing to grind them into dust. That man seems mildly unwell. I'd say so. Zero, we only need to subdue them, not to do anything drastic. Subdue them? Huh? Okay, die laughing, would you be so kind? Zero, that's not. So that's how it is. You have die laughing hypnotized, and that hideous pulse back there is the source. Then there's only one thing we must do, is there not? We must defeat die laughing in order to free him. But I already know that I won, so you're going to lose. They were wise to seize die laughing as their defensive line, given that he has bested all of us at some point. But not all of us together. Wait, Master, there was something you wished to do, was there not? Please, allow me to begin. Luna, you... Please be silent. You claim to have changed, and you have chosen your side. If you are genuine in your prior assertions, then do what it is you set out to do for yourself now. You mean that if I truly respect you as a person, I need not take pity on or spare you as an enemy? It was never my intention for it to come to this, but so be it. I will cut the ties myself. Die laughing. Defeat Luna. I thought those Pokemon were familiar. So that was the first question mark battle. I was fighting Luna and her dark types. Right. Of course, I was in a trance and only seen little snippets. Fantastic. So this is it. But this was only the natural outcome. There is no standing up to us anymore. Yeah, I got that bit. With die laughing on our side, we might as well be invincible. ... Are you so sure of that? After all, my only role here is to soften die laughing enough for my parents to overcome. Right. We will triumph as a family. Yeah, that was there. If you will. Don't worry, dear Luna. Even through die laughing, there's no way we'll lose to these creeps. Right, Master? I suppose it's our turn after all. Miss Focklane, may I have the honour of this battle? But they didn't really soften me up because I was re-healed, wasn't I? Anyway. Or was I? Maybe I wasn't between the singles and the doubles because I was running out of PP. Right. Okay. I must admit, how on earth could you get through that without using battle items? It would be impossible. The only reason I've started to use them is when I did my pointless run. I discovered the value of them then. I was able to defeat most of the gym leaders very easily with the use of them. So without them, virtually impossible, I would say. Anyway, so this is Sarah and Radamus teaming up together. That figures. Yeah. Ice types. Yeah. And psychic types. Last time a man asked me that, he left the arena crying. Yeah. This is brilliant. That is a risk I'm interested in taking right now. Then let's hope you can satisfy. Seriously, mother. I'm going to be sick here. And this situation is stacked. Die laughing, use these. Bennett tossed Die laughing the full restore, so yeah, my Pokemon were restored. Okay. And Zero, please actually do something already. That's your cue, Die laughing. Go get them. So that was the second battle. I'm going to have a word with you about taking out some of my Pokemon, actually. Just what is that trainer made of? Providence, I suspect. I see. So in the end, it still hasn't been enough. Die laughing performs even better than I expected. I'm glad Kane's not around to hear something like that. Perhaps I've underestimated that woman. Which woman are we talking about now, then? Are we talking about Lynn? And it's all thanks to my pulse. Zero, do not forget that I was the one who did the work. But it's okay, you helped a lot too. And just what part of this are you proud of? None of this was necessary. You could have just put them to sleep from the start. Well, not really, because you can only put 2 at a time to sleep, I thought. Well, this was helpful to test. Don't speak. The only thing that's been tested is your willingness to indulge. I'm sorry, I don't understand. You've just been enjoying puppeting Die laughing around as an outlet for your frustrations with them. That's nothing is gained by battling now, when we'll just put them to rest anyway. Ooh, it's kind of ominous. But you said... I said to actually do something, not to waste time and jeopardize the Pulse's security in a 1 versus 2 scenario. I will take responsibility for the battle with Luna, but this fight served no other purpose than to stroke your own ego. I just wanted to make sure Die laughing was fully under control. You wanted to feel that control. I assume because you've lacked autonomy over your own body for so long. Am I wrong? I think he's right. And I read your file. You were just a grunt before joining with those girls, correct? And not an effective one either. They were the only chance to stand out. Which is why you cling to them even now. This kind of behaviour you've demonstrated today exemplifies your incompetence. You let your emotions get in the way of your outcome. Until you learn to set ambitions aside and truly focus on yourself and your goals, you will never change. Did that missionary teach you that? No, mother. That man has done little more for me than place me in the footsteps my feet were not fit to fill. Even now, I understand that I cannot hope to fully live up to the title of Elite Four. In realizing this, I learned to step back and take a more serious approach to self-improvement. I believe the results should speak for themselves. The results don't speak louder than you still sitting on the wrong side of the coin. True. Is it wrong to return one's debts? The end of a means does not make its meaning end. Are you sure you are not running from your own choices? Zero, this has dragged on for far too long already. If you truly want to make yourself useful, then put them all to sleep already so we can move on. ... Got it. You'll all be out of our way for good now. You won't. Gardevoir. What's Gardevoir up to? She's gonna kick me in the ghoulies. You are already injured from that fight. Of course, Gardevoir was in it. As a mega, no less. And I hit you with a poison move. Sorry. You don't need to push yourself further. They would put Master to sleep, toss him aside, and never let him wake up again. Maybe dispose of him outright after what he did. I'll never ever let that happen. What is she doing? As you may know, Gardevoir are fiercely loyal to their trainers. It is said that they will do anything in their power to protect their trainer, even if it costs them their own life. Now, there was dialogue in there, in that weird place, about Gardevoir saying that if she was dead, she wouldn't mind it in this place. Is she going to sacrifice herself? Gardevoir, don't try to stop me. This is what I need to do for you. Rather than doing something dramatic, though I know you are such a fan of that. Let us have faith in the world and our other companions. Who is left? Who can stop thy laughing? Who won't just be put to sleep? Gardevoir, please! No, this is the only way. I will destroy that machine altogether. This is my purpose. This is not your... Yes, it is. To make sure you lived on. All those years ago, this is what she asked me to do. She? No harm will come to your master, Gardevoir. You have my word. You think we can believe you after everything? He will sleep and nothing more. When this is over, he will wake. I do not wish to see you hurt either. Liar! After what you've done to Luna and Die Laughing, and what Team Meteor intends to do after this? You want to make allowances now? I'll never believe that. Shh. This energy, in the most dire of circumstances, it is said that Gardevoir can use all of its power to go so far as to even creating a small black hole. That's right. No matter how strong that pulse may be, I can erase it altogether. Zero! I can set this right, and I will. Let Kane go. Seize her before it's too late. On it. Master! Whatever happens, please remember. So, hang on, Kane's just fallen over. I will always love you more than she or anyone else ever could. Again, text that we've seen. Zero! I got it. Are we too late? Her energy is spiraling out of control. Everyone, get out of here! What about Die Laughing and the others? There's no time! Ah, Volcarona, go already! So, hang on a minute. It seems then that Gardevoir made a black hole, and that's what we were sucked into. And of course, a black hole distorts time and space and twists them all. So that's why we sort of had a time machine mission through all those interactions. This is genius, actually. Anyway, if you have ever walked into a class late, you will know what it is like. Heads turn, eyes peel. You think of 1,000 things that they did not, but feel them all the same. In that moment, you are the sole star in the sky, and they are trying to sleep. Expectation and anxiety are frequent guests to an otherwise unplanned tea party. And while their sugar sits untouched, the sun is setting far too slowly. Never soon enough, it will be time for them to go along their way. They will retire for the evening, home to their wives, to their children, children who grow tired, children who grow up asleep. But still you must peel their eyes. There comes a time in every child's life where they must lay down their teaspoon, pinch the corners of a fabric, put the tablecloth and pull the tablecloth right away. Enough, she says, and follows the lights out. When there is only one path, there is only one way to go. And when in the darkness the path cannot be seen at all, then you are free. For now the time has come for me to follow my own infinity. Farewell, mother. Farewell, father. It has been like a dream. So is this Luna now entering the black hole to save me? And creating that path. Wow, okay. No, 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 no. Why? Why? Why did? Control. Control right. Incompetence. You are as mad as a bucket of frogs. This is always how it is. This is always how it was. Best is not good enough. Best is not good enough. I told you why zero. What do we do? What do we do? Eve, tell me what we should do. Report back to Labradora. Lynn will want to know what's happened. I'll take the bracelets and finish from here. That's right, that's right. As long as we have the sapphire bracelets, it's okay. She won't be mad. She won't be mad. Will she? Just go. Yes. Ooh. Wow. Gardevoir, I'm sorry it has to come to this. Is Bennett going to come in as well? Okay, so who are we missing? So Kane is gone, I've gone, Luna's gone, and Gardevoir's gone. So these are the entities that we found in the black hole that were kind of more real than everything else, that were kind of like images perhaps. Anyway, Mother, are you all right? Sarah ... Never better. Good. And Luna? Where is Luna? Do you know what happened to Luna? Luna stepped into the black hole on her own. Is this the end you had hoped to achieve? Shut up! I don't want to hear it from someone who couldn't even control his own Pokemon. Then from whom would you prefer to hear it? Ah, Elias. Is this the only person you listen to? Don't kid me. He and I used each other, nothing more. I have no respect for his beliefs or goals. Who's just arrived at the top right-hand corner? But you enact them all the same, with little alternative. But now that you mention it, I can disappear from here. They will conclude that I was lost in the damage. I can break free of this now. Why did it cost Luna? And Gardevoir, thank you. Mother, you may rest assured I will not meddle with this group again. So Bennett's coming back over to the goodies side then. You're still grounded, but that's fine. I'm still not coming home. I need to destroy the surveillance footage here. And what about your cohort? He will make a report, correct? I'm a fool. I have to stop him immediately. It's Laura. Excuse me? Oh, you're awake now. I'm glad you're safe. Miss Belrose, I am deeply sorry for what has happened. I've heard that these once belonged to your family. Please take them. Bennett gave Laura the sapphire bracelets. I don't understand. There's no time. I have to hurry. Maybe I could help you. Your confusion is apparent. Listen, it's because of me that you lost your position as a member of the Elite Four. Oh, that could go down badly, Bennett. Elias created a false notice of your termination, and then we hypnotized you to handwrite a letter of resignation. And then I took over your spot. What a weasel! I am truly sorry for what has happened. But right now, I must go. Look, somebody chuck him in the black hole. Does that mean I can't help? You are a deeply concerning person. Let me put it more simple. I have been your enemy. There's no reason for you to help me. I think there is. Do people have to be defined by their flaws and mistakes? Even if we were not defined by them, we cannot just ignore them. I understand that you must have done some bad things. Not just some bad things, Laura. But I also understand that you're doing your best to change. You're so forgiving. If I can be of any help, I would like to be. You sound just like her. I have two sisters. And they aren't particularly spotless either. Nobody is. Still, I've learned that in order to survive, we have to work together, no matter what. Fine, do whatever you want. There's a somewhat dishevelled man in black currently going on foot from here to Labradora. Can you catch him? If you can change the weather, my Pokemon should be able to outspeed anyone. I'll do it. Then I'll destroy the security footage here and meet up with you. And I'll see if I can bring some food. Despite our systems, you must be starving after sleeping for so long. We can work out the details with the Elite Four then. Okay? That sounds wonderful. Deal. Then let's go. Quickly. Wow. Okay. So much for a happy little family. Luna, Gardevoir, Kane, and even Dilafin. Everyone always disappears. Let us not make a bad situation worse by exercising its extremes. Ah, Shade gives me a little help down the path that Luna created, does he? Thanks, Shade, mate. Okay. I'm back! And here we are. I don't know by what means your madness, Shade, pulled you back into this world, but it appears that you have business that you are not yet permitted to quit. If I may be so bold, how was it on your end that you managed to return? Luna herself showed you the way? Luna did? Then, it seems there are still miracles that defy our understanding. Will you still hold your wounds close, Miss Vauclain? I don't know what to count on anymore. Maybe nothing. Now you're getting it. Let us presume to hope she will be back one day. Oh, I'm sure she will. After all, you never know who will stroll through the door next. Everyone is always coming and going. And coming right back. It's Anna! Dilafing, you made it back. Not that I doubted Nostra or anything. Where did these kids come from? A womb! Oh my God! Are you okay? What happened? I'm sorry. Those cracks all over your skin. Do you need help? On my skin? Am I getting wrinkles again? No, not wrinkles, cracks. Oh, Anna, now is not the time or the place. See? All over here and here and here. I'm sure she really wants to hear that. I don't. Don't worry about it. She always sees things other people's don't. That seems safe. It's not always, geez. But really, what are you doing here? This isn't a place for children. Nuh-uh. If this wasn't a place for children, then why would we be here? That's what I'm asking. We're here for him. Yep, Nostra made us sleep so that poor Hypno couldn't. So that they were unconscious already, so they couldn't be controlled. And then we came to meet him. Radimus? Hi, cute hat. Have you been crying? Radimus. Not anymore. You really are just like her. Come here. Did they just headbutt him? Wait, don't tell me you're there. They're his kids. Why were they in an orphanage? You swine, Radimus. I agree with Elias. What? Like everyone didn't see that coming? Yeah, I don't really know how I would have come to that conclusion, having just met you and all. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. It is so very, very all right. I'm just happy to see you again. You've both gotten so big. When I last saw you, you were just this tiny. And if anyone should be sorry to keep someone waiting, it's me. You both deserved so much more. It's all right. Nostra said that this is the only way it could have happened. I do know how that is. So, you've still got it. That's a relief. And of course I do. We would never willingly let go of something you gave us. And that Cleffa too? His name is Nomos. Nomos, hello, it's nice to meet you. He says hi. No, tell him everything Nomos says, not just the first part. Noel, you shed? And if I heard correctly, you go by Anna. He doesn't even know their names. Yep, that's us. Shouldn't you already know that? Those aren't the names that your mother chose for you. Painter and Fantasia. I think I prefer Noel and Anna. Those are such cool names. She had some flair about her. But when I had to let you go, I purposely withheld your names so there would be no way they could find you. So Team Meteor were after them right from the outset then, presumably, and that's why he's hidden them in the orphanage under different names. Very clever. Who is they? Team Meteor. Will you tell us why Team Meteor is after you? It is not a simple story, but I will say it as clearly as I can. Mistakes and lessons waiting to be learned. Some might say I have been very well educated indeed. During one such lesson, a certain person helped me understand that particular objects could be very dangerous in that group's possession. So I did what I had to do and stole those particular objects. In order to disguise their origin, I asked a close friend to fashion each of them into jewellery. Jewellery was a passion of his back then, but he was unprepared for the energy these keys held, and one of them broke in half. I was able to recover it, and he did fantastic work with the others, so I gave him one of the finished pieces as thanks. And with the others, I sought out buyers. In particular, I searched for strong trainers who would be able to effectively defend the pieces should Team Meteor try to recover them. My voice is going. Caroline and Monty were the first. With two gym leaders together, I felt certain they would be safe. They chose the sapphire key to match their eldest daughter's name. Next was Mr. Molinar. He chose the ring for his engagement. And the last one I entrusted to the beauty who showed me the light. That was your mother. And so I reinvented myself with a new name, new personality, and a new history. Die laughing, I hope you will forgive me for deceiving you. My wealth has never come from my success as a chess player. It came from the sales of those keys and a few extra digits taken from Meteor's coffers. I had always hoped to be able to fulfill your mother's dream of living in a castle. That is so cool! I do not defend thievery, but I dare say it was a better use of the money than they would have found for it. And for a time, she was happy. I thought it would all end happily, but it turns out happily ever after just means the next story hasn't started yet. Team Meteor learned of what I had done, who I was, and where the keys were, and so it began anew. Your mother was a walking miracle. For better or worse, people often outlive their miracles. After her disappearance, I clicked too fast. Sorry, he was scared. I did not want any harm to come to you, so I had to make sure you didn't get mixed up with them. And just look how that turned out. It's okay. I know you were just doing your best, whether it was right or not. Here, you should have this back. Radimus gave Anna the amethyst pendant. You had it! And so, I was so sad after it was taken. I was so sad that I got sick and almost died of sadness. Why did you give it to her? Says Noel. It was not perhaps one of my better plays. I was hoping Team Meteor would never find it, if it was with you two, but instead it gave them cause to seek you out. Perhaps sentimentality got the better of me. Whether it was right or wrong? No. I mean, why did you give it to her and not to me? Ah, shut up, Noel. He's got to give it to one of you. And she's the one with vision. Why is Anna the one who is always special? Ah, here, you can keep it. ... No, it's okay. I don't want it. I just wanted to know. You deserve it more than I do. It's not about deserving it or not. Just take it. Anna, I can't even hear Nomos. I never could. I shouldn't hold something like that. I know you can't. What? That's okay, you'll understand eventually. If you ever want to hold a pendant instead, just ask me, okay? Okay. So why did you give it to Anna? It was your mother's before. I simply thought it would suit her better. But it seems there may be some cause and effect in your similarities after all. Still, I understand that was unfair to you. I hope you can forgive me. Not like it matters. I don't understand any of you. However do you mean? It's been how many years and you all just go on like nothing's happened? You act like all of you knew the whole time that you would meet here? The future has a funny way of never being how we know it. But we never had to know. All we had to do was decide. The future cannot hold a candle to resolution. Now, considering something like the law of large numbers, it's only logical this would happen eventually if we kept looking. Plus, we had a little help. You're unbelievable. What? I can totally be believed. Right, Noel? Sometimes. Noel! But despite being unbelievable, here you all are. And that means you need to change your beliefs. If how you see things isn't an accurate reflection of reality, then why keep looking that way? You're the last person who should be saying that. Or the first. A reflection of reality, huh? In that case, maybe it's better to just put the mirror down. Let there be no reflection at all. And see things however works best for you. Smooth talk runs in the family, doesn't it? They got that from their mother. I don't think that's true. Maybe we all did. And maybe we all have room to learn from them too. It's tough to lose people, but you can just lean on the people still around you. So depend on us now. Here now, who's the parent here? Oops. But you are of course correct. I only lament that I had to say goodbye to Gardevoir and Luna to say hello to you. Not to mention the other boy, but I'll admit it could have been much worse given the circumstances. Perhaps the only reason the damage was so minimal was because Gardevoir fought to control herself, even through their hypnosis. Loyal to the very end? That's something I'm not used to. Maybe it's time you change that. Excuse us? Oh, who's next? Sorry to interrupt, but... Anna, says, you did it. Great job, both of you. Did you open a daycare service while I wasn't looking? Maybe if I also wasn't looking. Okay, everybody, these are my friends, Lumi and Eve. Excellent. Hi, we've caused a lot of trouble for you. Please accept my apologies. I believe the man in black who was here before had called out to you. That is correct, if pitiable. It's kind of a long story, but basically we were stuck together with him for a long time. In the same body. I wouldn't recommend the experience. In essence, we've had to work for Team Meteor the entire time. I developed the pulse systems that have been used to create a nearly unsurmountable degree of trouble. Oh, thanks for that. Hey, she didn't do it because she wanted to. I agreed to develop machines for Team Meteor only under the condition that Lumi's physical body would be adequately preserved. Yeah, but have they cured her disease that was killing her? That both of our bodies would be. You don't need to keep putting yourself aside. I always intended to find a way to restore ourselves to our proper bodies. But working towards that was impossible when we didn't even have the privacy of our own thoughts. I'm happy to be back, but I wish we didn't have to lose that poor Magnezone. Oh yeah, sorry about that. And full control took a little while to get used to again. It was difficult at first, yes, but thank you again for what you did. Totally. And what exactly was that? Noel and I switched places with these girls. So that's when I released what I thought was Lumi and Eve. These two, Anna and Noel, popped out instead. Nostra said it would be really important for them to wake up right away. Thanks to that, we were able to help Die Laughing reach this place. Okay. We hid in and moved through vents to evade Team Meteor and stole our Pokemon back to help Die Laughing. Right. Thanks for taking good care of Glaceon, Die Laughing. Though what happened after Die Laughing actually got here could have gone better. True. Yeah. Don't get us wrong, Die Laughing. We are not trying to fault you, but we know Zero would try to use Hypno to control you. So we tried to stop it. We tried to cut the system's power as soon as he used it on you, but unfortunately the power supply had an auto reboot function, so that was the lights flickering on and off, presumably. I hadn't accounted for this to preempt it, so all we were able to do was power cycle the system. We were hoping if we did it enough, maybe it would make enough holes in the control scheme for Die Laughing to break through, so perhaps that accounts for the broken text. But you saw the result. That's okay. You tried as best you could. I feel bad for Kane. He never even had a chance to act on his own from the time he came here to when he fell into the black hole. Yeah, but Die Laughing came back, so maybe he can too. Speaking of coming back, it may be prudent for us to quit this place before too long. Would it be alright for us to go with you? We don't really know who else to turn to get away from Team Meteor. Are you kidding? Not only can you come with us, you have to. I see a reason why not. No reason why not. Everyone will be waiting in Calcenon City. I have some information about Team Meteor that will be of relevance to you all as well. What should we do about this one? Hey there, sleepyhead. Time to wake up. Look at all the friends surrounding you. What happened? Where's Kane? We'll explain later. For now, we need to get going. By the way, there was a boy sleeping. Oh yeah, forgot about him. We tried to wake him up, but he wouldn't move. Glacian's heel bend. Okay. Worst come worst, I'll carry him myself. Can you really get him by yourself? All the way to Calcenon? Certainly not. But with our Pokemon, anything is possible. Okay. My voice is cracking. Did you know? Let's be on our way. Yes. Let's go. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm knackered. I'll catch you on the next one when my voices come back.